What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Monday night show. We got some great guests tonight. We had an awesome week, and I look forward to sharing with everybody some of the amazing information that we have absorbed. And as people are coming into the room, I'll just share a little bit about myself, about where we came from, and how this whole thing started, and what Legends is really all about. So first thing, some of you guys know, my story, but for anybody that came from Instagram that might have never been here before, welcome, welcome. This is a really amazing space full of beautiful people. The agenda for tonight is we're going to get into all the information that we have for you guys. I'm going to introduce the speakers that we have joining with us today, and then we will have some Q&As, and then we're going to go into some breakout rooms for you guys to get to know each other. Now, every time I say, and I say this all the time too, every single time I say it's time for breakouts, about 20% of the people drop out. Don't leave during that time. I know a lot of you guys have said, oh my God, I was going to leave and I didn't. And I met this person and I met that person. That is the reason why you are here. There is somebody in this room that you are meant to meet. Every single conference that I go to, I focus on one or two quality relationships that I want to create. I'm not there to meet everybody and tell my story or know everyone's story. I want to know one or two people very, very well. So I hope that we're going to give you guys that opportunity to do that, and that most of you guys will stay for that. Also, because there's a really big event going on tonight, Brad Sumrock has reached out also to do a meetup tonight. So we're going to be on time. All right. I know every single week we have after parties, and this call sometimes goes on for 3 hours, but that is definitely not happening today. I have places I gotta go. Maybe Nick will hang around and let you guys do more breakouts.
All right.
So as people are still jumping in, my name is Alex Lovely, and I've been in real estate for the last 16 years. Last year was really when I took the full step into the multifamily space. And I came to this space, and for most of you guys, and some of you guys have seen me, I flew. Okay. I shot myself to the moon. I spent $65,000 in mentorships and being in spaces and places around really successful people in this industry. And I want to bring it to you guys. All right. This is what we're committed to doing on this call, is to provide value. And the guests that I have brought with me on this call today also have that same vision, because I was on their call last night and it was awesome. So just a quick story of me. I bought my first property when I was 26. So this was around the 2008 crash. All right. First of all, I believe that there's about four times in each one of our lives that the market is at the perfect point for you to take full advantage of. And when you say yes, and when you take advantage of that market, it will drastically change your life and the trajectory of your real estate career. And I believe that 2008, 2009, that was my first one. 2007, 2008, around that time. You know, we remember all of that. I bought my first property at $200,000. Within 3 years, that property skyrocketed to $650,000. So that is life-changing right there, at least for me when I was 25, 26, somewhere around that time. But here we are in the second, I believe this is the second time that this is coming around for me in my life. So for you guys that are younger, maybe this is the first. For you guys that are older, maybe this is the third, or maybe this is the fourth. Either way, this is the perfect time for you guys to be here. All right. 6 years ago, or let me just back up a little bit on my journey, I thought I was financially free. I bought a triplex. I got $450,000 in equity. It was covering all of my expenses, my phone bill, car payments, and my living situation. I was like, yep, this is what Robert Kiyosaki talked about. I am out of the rat race. And of course, I was like, what's next? And because I didn't have real estate goals, what I did was I took money out of the property and I opened 2 restaurants. I opened 2 restaurants on my college campus, Newark, New Jersey. And within 3 years, I was $450,000 in debt. My car had gotten repoed. I had to sell my house to cover the debt. I ended up having to sell the restaurant at a humongous loss, and I had nothing. And this is about 6 years ago. I had nothing. I packed everything that I had up in a U-Haul. I took my dog with me. I have a picture of it. I have a picture and I remember, and it still brings me chills and actually kind of brings me to tears a little bit when I'm talking about it right now, because I remember just taking that selfie, like, here's to a new life, going down to Florida. And I don't normally tell this part of the story because I don't know, it just came to me right now, but it's a little bit emotional for me of where I was then and where I am now. So I drove down to Florida. I went into this transformational personal development training. I was like, all right, I'm at the lowest point in my life. One of my big brother's mentors was like, listen, you got to just come do this. I was like, all right, sure. Packed all my stuff up, moved down to Florida. I drove down. I lived in 100, it's got to be under 200 square feet. That was the little utility closet I lived in. And I tell this all the time. My Murphy bed comes down and my dishwasher didn't open because my Murphy bed was right in front of my dishwasher. I couldn't afford my Verizon phone anymore. So I had to have somebody else sign me on to their plan in T-Mobile that I can make the payments. All right. I took a job that was paying $1,200 a month. And there are people on this call that have seen me in that journey or around the time I was in that journey. And real estate, when I decided that this is it, my back is against the walls. Okay. 6 years ago, I was like, I'm going to this real estate conference. This is how I started. This is how I'm going to get back. I went to Chris Crone real estate conference about single families. And this is where I learned to do partnerships. I found one person that invested in me in a deal. I killed it. I killed it for him. We returned the money in 1 year. And this was a 50-50 split. We returned the money in 1 year. He wanted to do a second property. He introduced somebody else to me, and so on and so forth. Within 3.5 years, 12 Airbnbs, and I'm making $20,000 a month cash flow. I went from, my credit score was a 400. I got my car repoed, had no money. I'm living in a freaking a tiny little place that I don't even know if it's legal to live in. Okay, it's definitely not considered a house or any living apartment, with a 95-pound dog. Like that was my living space. As soon as I walked in the door, there was my bed, and right in front of my bed was the dishwasher. And then the bathroom right to the left. I mean, it was so small, and I was blaming everybody. I blamed my mom and my sister for not supporting me when I wanted to be in the restaurant business. I blamed my landlord. I blamed every person. And at some point, I had to take ownership of it. And I took ownership of the place that I put myself in. And yeah, I climbed my way out. And about a little bit less than 2 years ago, I moved to Peru for, actually, this is like a year and change, not even that far. It was during COVID. I moved to Peru for 1 year. And there I was doing soul searching, a lot of soul searching work. What is my purpose? What's my direction now? I feel like, okay, now I'm financially free. 20,000 a month in real estate, and it's running by itself. I'm pretty set. I don't need to do anything. And when you don't have a goal after you achieve a big goal, you can go into a depression. Okay. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was in Peru. I I participated in many plant medicine ceremonies. I learned to play the guitar. I was hiking. I was doing those types of things just to find myself again. And I realized that I need to help other people do this. And that's when I started these calls. And this was before I went into Grant's conference. It started with 6 people. I remember when 6 people were on this call. And then I remember last year in April, there was like 13 people on this call after like 4 months of running this. Then I met Nick. Nick helped me. He's 16 years old. He's over here in the corner. I met Nick. Maybe I should do what I'm going to copy what the Freedom Boys, the Freedom Chaser did yesterday. I'm going to put myself so I can see myself. Where am I? Here we go. Where was I? And yeah, and these calls, Nick helped me get there. Nick helped me create a new CRM. I learned a lot about real estate. I dove in full force, right into the deep end. And last year, many of you guys know my story. I went from 12 units to over 850 as a general partner. Okay, I increased last year alone. I doubled my net worth and tripled my income. Okay, you guys do the math from 20,000 a month to tripling my income in 1 year to not and pay no taxes. Paid no taxes. I still have a negative $199,000 carrying over. So wherever you are right now, okay, know that 6 years ago, I was as deep as it really gets. Mentally in a bad place, spiritually in a bad place. And I got here in a hurry. Every single person in here, you can turn your life around so fast. Everybody here is one decision, one choice away from changing it all. And if you take nothing away from this call today, I hope that story was enough to say, okay, yes, my limiting stories are just freaking stories. They are not real. And so towards the end of last year, we started the Legends Equity Group. Legends Equity Group, let me just pull up some notes I wrote about it. I prepared it for you guys today. We got some, we got guests here that I want to show that I got my stuff in order. So let me pull up my notes. And you guys know I never use my notes. So in our group, there is the 4 quadrants that I teach. The first quadrant is trading your time for more money. Trading your time for money, earned income, general partnerships, W-2s, sales jobs, all of that is how do I make more money? How do I earn more active income? And the model that you want to take is how do I make more money by doing less? Quadrant 1, how do I do more? How do I make more by doing less? Carry that forth with you. That's quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 is a part of quadrant 1 that is allocated towards your personal growth. Like I said earlier, $165,000 into mentorships, courses, flying around the country, all of that. Quadrant 2 is an investment that nobody can ever take away from you. It doesn't look like there is any returns on there in the beginning, but I promise you the education, the investment in yourself, the building of your brand, nobody can take that away from you. No matter where you are in your life, that's going to help you get there faster again if you lost it all. So quadrant 2, always have money invested back in there. Quadrant 3 is where financial freedom is. Financial freedom is where you make money while you sleep. It's the passive income. You should have a goal every quarter, every year of how much money am I going to invest passively? How much money am I going to invest as an LP? See, everybody's so caught up on GP, on doing those types of things, but that's part of your active income. If you can make more money at a sales job or your W-2, do that and invest your money. There's a couple ways in which you can make it in real estate, and none of it is really fast. Okay. Either you're really young and you got a whole lot of time and you can just keep throwing it in there and let it grow, and you just keep growing with it. Okay. Number two is you exited some big company and you have a whole ton of money, you're older, and then you put it in there with a large amount of capital and letting that carry you forth with the cash flow. Okay. Another way is you invest while you're maybe in your 30s and 40s, and you're investing a large amount of money in every year, but your time is being shortened in the game. Okay. There's only a couple different ways that you want to make it, but none of those are fast. The real estate is not, it's going to compound and it's going to grow exponentially and it's going to change your life. But that's the passive investment side. To be free comes from there. Your active investment side, you can flip houses, you can do all these other things in real estate, but that is not real estate investment. That is your earned income. You're still trading your time for money so that you can take that money and invest it into real estate. Then you are a real estate investor. And that's where you create generational wealth. Okay. So, I didn't get to the most important quadrant, which is quadrant number 4. Quadrant number 4 is charity. Charity impacts you as an individual, and charity impacts society as a whole. Charity is connected to generosity, is connected to abundance, and that is one of the central core values of Legends Equity Group. Okay. Our goal is to make an impact financially in 160 million people's lives across the world. And the reason why we chose 160 million is because that is 2% of the entire world's population. We believe in the critical mass, the shift, collective consciousness. If 2% of the population shifts, the tipping point happens and the entire collective shifts to a mindset of abundance, of financial freedom. So that's a big goal. That's not something I can do alone. That's not something that all of our Legends group right now can do alone. But we will definitely begin to make a dent in 8 billion, in infinity. So how does Legends help you compress time? Okay, how does this community help you compress time? Okay, in today's market, let's say it takes 100 deals to find one good deal. And you do 2 deals a day. You underwrite 2 deals a day. It takes you 50 days to find a good deal. Let alone, we're not even going to mention that you may not have a team. You may not know how to do it. You just found a good deal and you have no idea what to do with it. 50 days. If we had 100 people looking at one deal, it happens in 1 day. We'll find a good deal in 1 day. And you have people to carry you, hold your hand through the entire thing, right? That's what is 1 day versus 50 days. I don't know what the percentage is in that, but if you take that just over the course of 1 year, all right, there's what, 365 days. So you have 7 opportunities in scenario 1 versus 350 in scenario 2. That's the difference. Now compound that over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Okay. Either you're going to miss the boat and watch other people succeed, or you're going to say yes and believe in yourself and jump on board. Okay. Now another one. Even this call right here, once a week. If you learn something and then you have a question, you got to wait till next week to come on and hopefully get an opportunity to share it if you even remember it. That's how most masterminds are run. Once a week, you get that. And maybe if you get lucky, you can get on somebody's calendar and learn something. In the community, we have 7 calls, okay, a week, 6 of them with me. And we have a ongoing community board that anybody can hop on at any time. If you have a deal, you have a question, one of the legacy team members will be like, okay, let's go. Let's jump on. Let's underwrite this deal. Let's call the broker together. Oh, you want to submit an LOI? Well, here's a Google document of all the different documents that Alex and his team have been using from day one of submitting an LOI all the way to closing. All the docs in place. Okay. Mike Bailey, Shariah, Massive Capital guys, they've provided that opportunity for me. I go into deals fearless. People are like, how are you not scared when you're doing deals? I'm like, why would I be scared? Somebody's holding my hand going through the whole thing. Same thing. Just want to offer that. This is my opportunity to give back to you guys now. All right. Third thing, most people, when you have an offering, okay, if you even know what your offering is inside a community, I believe people find their purpose and find their offerings and their roles in society by being in a group of community. With a group of people, you will find yourself and you will find who you are, what you're supposed to be doing. All right. So outside, alone, you have to find clients. You have to find customers. If you're a coach, if you sell, if you're a mortgage broker, if you're a real estate broker, you got to find clients. You got to do things. It's an uphill climb. In a community, you and 100 other people are promoting for you. Clients and customers are waiting for you to find your offering and to tell it in a way that is going to serve. Flipped. Everything is flipped upside down. Everything becomes easier. And I promise inside you will find your offering. We do a think tank call on people in the community. There's a section in our think tank call. We take somebody and we go, all right, tell us all your problems. And then they tell us the problems. I can't afford this. I'm running out of money. I need income. I don't know what my message is on Instagram. All of that stuff. And they're like, okay, you done? All right. Now, you don't talk. And the rest of us brainstorm. We brainstorm on you. Like that is freaking incredibly valuable. All right. So those are just little tiny things. And of course, compressing time to get on a deal, to start to build your quadrant one. Okay, so that was my introduction. I think we've given people enough time to jump on the call. If they're this late onto the call, then they're going to have to watch a recording. I want to introduce, I'll say it right, the multifamily freedom chasers to the call. Let me pin you. Let me pin. Wait, how do I wait, pin set? What?
Add spotlight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's spotlight. Okay. I'll pin myself. Hey, Nick, can you just do that? Spotlight these multifamily freedom chasers, AKA the official freedom boys.
That's right. Hey, that's really sticking, Alex. Honestly, the Freedom Boys is actually sticking, and it's a good chance we might run with it. It's the Freedom Boys with Freedom Chasers Capital, building the multifamily Freedom Chasers community.
Dude, I love it. And I gotta say, you guys taught me a lot because you guys came from a group that I wasn't a big fan of, but meeting you guys in person, you really taught me a lot about also judging from afar, and I talk about this all the time on my calls, like we got to relinquish our judgments and this and that. And then here I am, not collaborating with you guys sooner, not bringing you guys on board sooner, not connecting with you guys sooner. So I want to share that, I want to share that, like you guys taught me a lot on that aspect.
Better late than never, brother.
Yeah. And then we got to hang out all week, and it was just, I had a blast. Hanging out with you guys. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves first, and then we will go into some of the takeaways that we had at Roberts, because I got a whole ton.
Let's freaking go. Let's start with the new golden American boy, how Robert named him.
Man, I don't know when he's gonna just stop squeezing all the juice out of that, man. But hey, we'll just roll with it. What's going on, everybody? I tell you what, Alex, when I walked in that mastermind and I saw your name tag there in the VIP section, you were one chair away from me. There was one person in between us. I was like, oh man, I'm definitely in the right place. So it was a pleasure to share that room with you this past week. The Freedom Boys were, and we knew we were in the right spot when you were in the room. So absolutely fantastic. But hey, happy to be here tonight. Trevor Walker, everyone. I'm out of Fort Collins, Colorado, and it's an absolute pleasure to be with y'all tonight.
Love it,
Awesome,
brother.
thank you.
What's up, everyone? Marcel the Activator.
That's so true. That's so fitting for you.
Ready to get activated? Dialing in, guys, here from Detroit, Michigan right now, actually, but originally Chattanooga, Tennessee is my home base, guys. But I'm on a work trip here, guys. W-2, getting it done. We're still 9 to 5. We're living with all life's challenges here, right? We're living with the 9 to 5. We love having our families. We love having our kids. But you know, that takes a strain on what we do here too. But guess what? It's still possible. It's still all possible. And that's what we stand for. The Freedom Boys, the multifamily
right.
freedom chasers community, whatever you want to call it. But hey, man, I'm so excited to be here, Alex, with your community. And dude, your message totally resonated with me. That was amazing. And now I want to let you guys all know. I don't know if you've noticed this. Alex gave you a great example of where he came from, what he had to go through. But most importantly, he shared with you a lot of stuff that was all about you. It was all about you, not just how he can help you, but how you can also help yourself. And I think that's amazing. So you can really tell here what this is about. This is not about Alex. This is not about legends. This is not about the Freedom Boys. This is about you. So I'm really excited to be here, Alex, tonight.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Victor, N to the G.
That's right.
Hey guys, I'm Victor. I'm usually the boring guy behind the scenes trying to run our own Zooms, but I'm based out of Philadelphia, and I'm really happy to have met you, Alex. I mean, I already knew who you were during the 10X Real Estate Summit. I bumped into you, and really glad that we actually got the chance to connect over the mastermind over last week.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up and saying yes to that. I believe there's
welcome.
definitely some great things that we're going to collab on in the future. And I look forward to that.
No doubt, bro.
100%, brother.
I also have a Victor on my team. Nick, where are you at? Spotlight yourself on here. I want to introduce Nick for anyone that doesn't know Nick. Where are you at? My young Padawan, my protege, where are you at? Spotlight yourself.
He's coming. Yeah, give him
I'm
a second.
coming. I was just making my Chinese food.
Bro, you never know when you're going to get spotlighted. The mic is always on. The camera's
Guys.
always on. Well, while Nick is doing that, I want to ask you guys.
Did I spotlight
multifamily-
myself?
Spotlight yourself to the first
I think I
screen.
did. Did I?
No, you didn't. You got to add pin to first screen. That's what it is, not spotlight.
We see you, though.
No. You see me now?
No, I don't see you. All right, hold on. You stay there.
I hit spotlight for everyone. Can everyone see me now?
Here, I'm gonna do it. Here you go.
All right.
All right. So Nick, as inspiring of a story as mine is, Nick is 16 years old. He's got 500 units as a general partner. He is invested in he's invested in the deal himself as well as an LP in that position. And you have big goals. So we work and we talk about the 4 quadrants. Why don't you share real quick just what that is for your 4 quadrants?
Alrighty. Sure. So first quadrant for this year, 150,000 in earned income. I want a personal assistant, and we're on track to do that. We just had a call today. So hopefully tomorrow I get an assistant. I want to invest in 1,000 units as a GP or LP. I want $100,000 invested in deals, and I want to donate 7.5K to charity.
Dude,
And I want my Gulfstream G700.
there
maybe
it
not
is.
this
You
year.
want your G700. So You know, this is the work that we do also with teens as well. And it's not really just with teens. This is how all adults should be doing. You got to surround yourself with the right people so you remember what your goals even are. Because if you don't talk about this and you only talk about it once a week, you're going to forget it. And it's going to take forever to get there. You're going to get tired of that. And if a 16-year-old can do it, and I could do it in 6 years, there is really no excuses out there for anybody. All right. So thank you, Nick. You're the man.
Man,
Thank
should
you.
we get
You're the man.
Nick's autograph now or later?
Dude, if you go to the conferences, he's probably more popular than I am. People are like, hey, where's that kid that you roll around with? Where's that 16-year-old kid? I'm like, damn, you coming to me to ask about the 16-year-old kid?
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
amazing,
very
man.
inspiring.
Yeah.
Alex,
So
we have somebody that's named JJ Miles. It's Jerry Miles' son, who's 16 as well, and he Nick reminds me of him, or JJ reminds me of Nick, however you want to call it. We should get these two guys also connected, and man, you guys should start a teenage club or something like that. You know, like for 16-year-olds. How about that? Unless
Yeah,
you're already
so-
working on that, Nick.
so 30 minutes before this call at 6:30 Eastern, we have a call for teens, and JJ is in there.
There you go.
Yeah, so JJ and Nick have been kind of the two like rising stars in
Yeah.
there. And
You already there?
and Nick and JJ and I, he had created a little competition with me to see who gets to 1,000 subscribers first on YouTube, and he learned a big lesson. And he learned the lesson is that money will get me there faster. Yeah. So I did. Now he's like, okay, all right. Now he's got to earn his money and he's going to do it and he can get there too. Right. All right. So let's go into this. We have a lot of great information from Robert's event. I know you guys had Robert on your call yesterday, and I attended it and it was great. It was cool. I'll talk about, you guys can interview Nick at some point about how I found him or he found me, one or the other. But yeah, Robert he is different from everybody else that I've met in this space because he's an operator. He's a true operator. And I don't know if many people can say that. There are a lot of syndicators out there, including myself, syndicator. We syndicate deals and we know a little bit about operations, but we don't know the little details that Robert knows that is going to decrease your expense, increase your NOI. And he was able to 100% cash out refi 15 times for his investors. And some of the nuggets that he dropped. And I'll start with this question, and then you guys can kind of chime in as well. But for everybody that's here, what's the biggest expense? And you guys can type it in the chat. What's the biggest expense when it comes to operating a real estate deal? Just real estate in general. Okay, you can say single family or you can say multifamily. Okay, we got taxes. Come on. We got tenant turnovers, taxes, more taxes. Who's 100% certain what it is? Type it in there. Management. Oh boy. Legends putting in management. CapEx. CapEx is not an operational expense. All right. GPs. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one. That's a good one. But your biggest expense, it's not insurance. It's not taxes. What is it? Freedom Boys.
I would say it's the turnover, man.
Yeah. It's the turnover. It is expensive
Yeah.
for a tenant to leave and then for the unit to remain vacant. And then you got to pay a leasing agent another month to get somebody else in. You're losing like 3 months of rent in one shot from a tenant. You can lower your rental rates by like a couple $100 and it wouldn't even be that turnover rate. Right. So yeah, it's the turnover. And just like businesses too, it's always the turnover. You got to hire a new employee. What's the headache that comes with that as well? And then the time it takes to train them and the time for you to trust them probably take a long time too. So yeah, that was one of the big questions I think a lot of people don't know. But yes, 10 in turnover. So we got that. What are some other takeaways that you guys got?
Who wants
I
to
can
start,
start.
boys?
Yeah, I'll start off and I'll start big picture here, Alex and fam. You know, I think just along with exactly what you're saying, right? There's so many Jedi nuggets that Robert drops. It's just like boom, 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 you know, and it's even hard to just keep track of all the Jedi nuggets that he's dropping. So zooming out from a 50,000 foot view, you know, my previous perspective when it came to operations or asset management is okay, we'll hire this third party company because we don't want to be bogged down with all the nitty gritty of operating the asset. We're going to hire this third party company. They're the professionals. They know what they're doing. We'll check in every now and then just to make sure things are staying on track. But pretty much it's like what's that infomercial, right? Like set it and forget it, you know, something like that. Of course, not that extreme, but you know, that kind of sentiment, right? Like, hey, we'll let them do their thing. We'll just make sure every now and then they're staying on track. That is completely the wrong way of looking at it. And that was my biggest takeaway from like a big picture scale is how important operations are when executing your business plan and getting the returns to your investors. So, and operations need to be at the top of the priority list.
Awesome. Yeah, that is so true. What about you guys, Marcel and Victor?
Man, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? And one thing that there was one thing that kept resembling with me, and it was every time think about boosting your NOI. It's all about your NOI. I mean, all of you guys here know what your asset is being valuated on, right? What is it being valuated on? Let's put it in the chats. What is your asset being valuated on? How do you define, there we go. How do we define a purchase price or a valuation price on the refi? Exactly. It's through your NOI, right? NOI and cap rate. Well, the cap rate is defined really by the market, right? But yeah, NOI, exactly. And so he kept hammering into that NOI. And there's two ways, guys, two ways of improving your NOI. What's two ways to improve your NOI? Two ways. Let's put that in the chats here as well. Increase rent. Okay. So that means increase income, right? Exactly, Jennifer. There you go. Increase income, lower expenses. Exactly. Two options, right? And he really dove into detail on that. Heck, I'll tell you guys, there was a time where he mentioned we need to lower rents to improve our NOI. What? And we can get into detail more on that in a little bit here. But what I liked the most was that he said he wants to fix everything that breaks in the first 5 years. Usually you try to get your investment, you plan it for 5 years, right? Sometimes you have 10-year, whatever, longer tenure, but you plan for the first 5 years. So he says he fixes everything that breaks or can break really within the first 5 years. He's talking about ACs, boilers, yada, yada. And why is he doing that? Well, because it's a CapEx, right? It's a capital expenditure. And that capital expenditure goes below your NOI line, right? It's not part of your expenses, just like you said earlier here, Alex. And why would he do that? Why can't you do that in year 2, 3, 4, and 5 collectively? Well, because that minimizes your maintenance cost. It minimizes tremendously your maintenance costs within those 5 years. So what does it do? It minimizes your expenses. So it boosts your NOI by simply investing into CapEx right away. Although something might not even be broken yet. So I thought that was really interesting, going in to really think about your NOI strategically from day one, even based on your P&I, right? Based on your balance sheet and everything. So I love that. And that's exactly what we talked about for 3 days, right? Exactly these kind of things that we as syndicators don't really think about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that was one of my biggest takeaways for sure.
Awesome. Victor, what's up, brother? What'd you take away from the event?
Hey guys, yeah. I think a mindset think about that I took away was, you know, a lot of us that start in real estate, you know, start with single families or duplexes, triplexes. We come into it, we kind of manage it ourselves, but sometimes we listen to the tenants' stories and get suckered into, their life, and their excuses, well, why we can't pay rent. And what I took away from that was, if you're going to do real estate, you really need to treat it as a business. Make every decision you make a business decision. So what's really important is for you to set processes and procedures, because they are there to protect you and to protect your business. But if you decide to break your own processes and procedures, then you're kind of all on your own. So at the end of the day, you professionally as an operator, you have your property management in place, you have them deal with the day-to-day. You should never really be in the position to have to hear those sob stories. Because if you want to treat it as a true business, let them take care of that, and then you take care of what the business decisions are.
Yeah.
It may be
thank you.
heartless, but at the end of the day, this is a business. Their stories of why they can't pay rent is gonna hurt your bottom line, hurt your NOI, hurt the valuation of your business. So treat real estate as a business, because it is a business.
Victor is a tough ninja.
Well, I mean, it's so true, because first of all, your first duty is to take care of your investors' money, right? I mean,
right.
for somebody to work so hard and to write and hand you over a $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 check, like that means they're placing a lot of faith and trust in you. I had somebody tell me, or I had somebody interview some of my past coaching clients, and somebody said, I trust Alex with my life. Okay, I trust Alex with my life, but I don't know if I trust him with my money yet. And it's insane. It's kind of like when they say like public speaking is like the biggest fear, and that at a funeral, people rather be in the casket than delivering the eulogy. It's kind of the same thing with money. It's like, I trust Alex with my life, but not my money, not my money. So I thought that was really funny. And so it's your duty, is your responsibility is to your investors first. And we all have, taxes are going up, insurance going up, property values are going up. So we're not buying it. It's not like we're banking a whole ton of money, but we have responsibilities to our investors first, right? So that's really important.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. What about you, Alex, man? What was your biggest takeaway?
Dude, so it actually there's a whole ton of things. I wrote a bunch of stuff down, even when Vino was there and when the broker was there. So if we have time, I'll go into it. But I do really want to say, I want to give everybody here some, because a lot of people, some people learn, from hearing, and some people learn from seeing. So this is what I normally do on my Thursday night underwriting call, but I want to throw some numbers up on a screen just to show you guys and demonstrate. This is a conversation that Robert and I had at dinner. Okay, we talked about how people are assuming a lot of loans lately, and their numbers make sense because they can assume a 3%. People are bragging about assuming 2% loans. Like, that is a dangerous game to be playing, because when you exit, you're not exiting at a 2% interest rate. You're going to be exiting, who knows, 5, 6. What happens when you exit at 5, 6? The property value, the work that you put in to increase the NOI that's supposed to give you the returns that you want in the appreciation, it goes the other way. So I'll just kind of draw a little scenario here for you guys. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Advanced. No, not advanced. Hang on. Can you guys see my black screen? Somebody's got to say yes, because I can't see or hear anybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So let's say you buy at $17 million. Hello, pen.
It's scrolling.
Good. Okay. $17 million property. And you get it at a 75% LTV. I know this is not realistic in today's value. So for all you experts out there that's like, oh, Alex, you can't get 75% LTV right now. I challenge that too. But For anybody this is for demonstration. Okay.
It's not
So you're
showing.
probably,
Alex.
We can't see it yet, Alex.
what do you see?
We just
Just
see it
black.
black. It says
Loading.
Sorry,
It's scrolling. Scrolling.
I've just got a black screen. Says Alex is starting to share his screen.
Yep, same here.
Maybe you want to stop sharing and try again.
Yes, that is what I will do. Thank you.
Hey, Alex, this is Hawk. After you do
Yo.
this demonstration, I got a real deal that meets this scenario exactly.
Do you guys see this right now?
Yeah, we see it.
You
Okay.
see it?
Yeah, we see it.
All right, so this is going to cost you, if you're 75% LTV, it's going to cost you, you're going to get a loan of somewhere around 12.75 million. Okay. And let's say this loan, you got it at a 4% interest rate. All right. And when we're just doing interest only, all of that, you're paying, what is it? Let me see this. Let me just I want to double check my number for anybody out there that's going to crucify me for getting it wrong. 510K. Okay, is your debt service for the year. Okay, let's say this property, you bought it at a 4 cap. Okay, how do we find what's 4 cap from 17 million? So that's 17 million is the purchase price of the property. 4 cap is to get your NOI, so you multiply by 0.04. $680,000. This is your NOI before debt. So you have a cash on cash. Okay, subtract 510 from 680, $170,000 a year is your cash flow. That makes sense, everybody? Now, interest rates go up to, I don't know, 7%. 7% of, so 12.75 million times 0.07. Your debt now costs $892,000. 0.5. Okay. That means there are people that came in buying this deal, and this is very real. January, December last year, people were buying deals at 4% and under interest rate at 75% LTV. And they're like, dude, this is a great deal. It's cash flowing 170K a year. I'm invested in some deals like that. All right. And I was just sharing today, there's something that I'm invested in that has a that gave me a 0.3% cash flow on my money. That's what I invested in. And it's just, I wanted to get to know some operators. But here you go. 680K is your NOI. You are negative $232,000. That's what you're operating at now. If your debt is floating, and this is the problem. Now, if you went into a deal, what was that? Oh, wait, sorry. My math
Go ahead.
is terrible. It's not terrible, but I made a mistake here. $212,000 NOI. Negative operating a year. The people are bleeding, and people are bleeding. How far can you bleed through this market? What happens if this goes up to 8%? Okay, and not only is the interest rates hurting, the banks are saying, hey, you had to put some money aside for reserves and things like that. It was once $5,000 that you had to put away. I've heard stories that it goes from 5,000 to 50,000 that they had to put away for your interest reserves. Like, this is what's happening in a whole ton of different deals. Now, what happens when the people went in years before that and their loan is coming due? And now they're coming to a point where they either refi or something's got to happen because the bank is calling their note now. What do they got to do? This is why this is the opportunity right now. And it's one of those 4 times in your life that I think you got to get in. Because even if you're like, hey, I'm going to come and save this guy and we're going to buy this deal at a 6 cap, you're going to make out. This is how you're going to make money in this market. And I personally believe, okay, and this has been my experience and my whatever little experience I have in real estate, if you can make a real estate flow and you can cash flow for 5 years, you're going to be happy with the returns that you're going to get on the property. Okay. Because if you can do it for 5 years, these people are, and I'm not, if it's one of you out there, you know, it's cool. Like, there's blood on the street, even if it's yours, start buying. Okay. This is what blood on the street looks like. Negative cash flowing. Oh, sorry. I wrote NOI right here. Negative cash flow. How long can you do this for? Right. So I just wanted to draw this out there. I normally don't use my whiteboard like this and draw numbers unless it's Thursday on our calls, because this can go on. It can go on for a long time. Okay. Now the flip side of that is, if you bought a property you assume a property at 2%, you're overpaying, okay, for the property now, because other people, if it's at a 6-7%, banks aren't going to give you the loan for it. They're going to say it's got to come much lower for you to buy it. But if you assume the loan, this is why all sellers are like, yes, assume my loan, take over my loan and pay me my top dollar. Get me out of this mess. We got to think about that. Like, don't just go and assume any loan thinking, oh my God, it's an assumable loan, 2%, you know, we're good to go. Now, I'm doing a deal assuming a loan. So oh my God, Alex, what the hell's wrong with you? You just told us that you don't assume these loans and you're assuming a loan. Well, first of all, I'm assuming a loan at a 4.4%. I'm not over leveraged. Okay. We're raising almost 50% of the money. I strongly believe in the location. I believe in the upside of this place. I would put all of my money into this market. That's how much I believe it. And I'm buying everything around here in Vegas. So we are doing a webinar on Wednesday about that deal. So Nick, can you please drop that if anybody is interested in what I'm just talking about right here, right now, about the Vegas deal, the Vegas vision. And the entire Legends Equity Group actually came together because of the vision of what we're doing in Las Vegas. So if you want to be a part of that, if you want to get to know more about it, what we're doing, and that includes you guys too, Freedom Chasers. If you guys want to come check out the vision of what it is that we're doing, come to the Wednesday webinar. All right. It's not, you don't need to invest in it or whatever. Just come and see what it's about. And the way that I put it is, imagine being invested in Wynwood 10 years ago. If you could invest in Wynwood 10 years ago, median house, $160,000, 2010. And today, median house, $688K. That's not a 4x return on your money. If you put 30% down for those properties, that's a 12x on your money. If you even had a chance for a 12x on your money and you can still cash flow the deal, I think that's a pretty solid gamble, right? A little bit of a speculation play versus, and at the same time, we're not going to negative cash flow this thing. All right. So that's my Viva Las Vegas. That's my exception to the taking the low assumption interest rate. So if you have a market that you're in, you believe in the growth of it, you believe in the location of it, it's on the water. There is no other properties like this, and you got to assume a debt to have a positive cash flow. Go for it. All right. So yeah, I'll pause for a second and let you guys share and talk as well, because I know I just went on for like 15 minutes, and if nobody stops me, I'll keep going. So I'll stop myself.
When you say
All
you guys,
gents,
you're talking about the Freedom Boys? Or are you talking
Freedom Boys? I'm talking
Freedom
to
Boys.
you guys.
Alex, I'm trying to figure out, did you coin that first or did Robert coin that first?
I'm not gonna take credit for that, but you know, I've been saying it though.
You have,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it. You know,
The official
anytime,
Freedom Boys. I love it. I love that.
dude, anytime one of those things, like whether it's branding, marketing, that kind of sphere, I always run it by my wife because I think she's got a good kind of eye and just a feel for that stuff. And she digs the Freedom Boys too. And I pass that along to the team. And pretty much when my wife's name is Aubrey, when she gives the thumbs up on something, the boys are like, yeah, we're on board. So
Yeah. Dude, and you
Freedom
say,
Boys it is.
you say anything long enough, it will catch on, like Uber. Like, really?
right,
Uber?
Exactly. But just to add on to that, Alex, Robert, a stat that he shared with us was that 80% of investors out there have some sort of rate exposure, interest rate exposure. What does that mean? That means that they got debt on a floating rate, and that example that Alex just went through, that's going to be their scenario. And so the second half of the year, there's going to be massive amount of deal flow. And Robert made this distinction. There will not be distressed assets. They're going to be great performing assets. They're going to be distressed sellers. And because they're distressed sellers, they have to sell. And that's why it's an opportunity of a lifetime, as you were putting it earlier, Alex, an opportunity of a lifetime for folks just like us to take advantage of the situation and really capitalize on it, really stacking some wins in the multifamily space starting the second half of this year. But it's a matter of getting ready for that, right? It's a matter of getting ready for that. And I don't know if you guys want to pitch in as well as some of the things that Robert shared with us on how to get ready and position yourself to take action the second half of this year when these deals start coming through. But just wanted to sprinkle a little bit on that topic of what you were elaborating on, Alex, is that just the market is getting ready, and it's going to be a feeding frenzy for everybody as long as you're ready to take action.
Yeah, and you're right. You mentioned it, Trevor, right? As long as you're ready. What means ready, right? I mean, you can be educated, you can be fired up, but guys, you gotta make sure that you're in the right place also to be able to fund these deals. You got to be able to raise money. You got to be able to find maybe or find a strategic partner, right, that can raise the money with you. But none of that happens if you don't have the right connections. If people don't know you, they don't flow you. So I'm gonna criticize everybody here, right? I'm gonna criticize everybody in here right now. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you have an Instagram channel or an Instagram page or however you call it. Put a 1 in the chat. All right. See all these ones there. And nobody is putting it in their name, guys. I mean, I wouldn't know that you guys have an Instagram page or whatever, or however profile you call it. Robert has raised, I don't know, has he raised almost $100 million on social media?
90-something million, yeah.
97 million, right? Guys, the power of Instagram, the power of social media is huge. So I'm a challenge, first of all, everyone to put their IG name into your Zoom name and make that thing permanent. If you don't have a Zoom account, get one and make it permanent so you don't have to do it every single time, right? So make sure that you have that in there. And then also make sure that you look people up through that and actually connect with people on IG besides just putting that in your name.
That's right.
And this
guys,
is how you're going to connect with us. Every one of us right here. You can take a picture of what's going on right now. Tag each one of us. We have ours in there. You know, I'm not part of the people he's criticizing. I'm just kidding. I just put that in there myself. But take a picture of it.
Put it in there. I saw you just put it in there.
Take a picture of it. Tag us. And if you tag us, I will friend you and follow you. And we will be officially friends.
Exactly.
All right.
And I tell you a trick, guys, you know, especially with somebody like Alex, you got to use that as an opportunity. If you are on a call like this, you got to take a picture, okay? And you got to tag Alex, you got to tag Trevor, you got to tag Victor, you got to tag me. And what we're going to do is we're going to reshare that, right? Now, I tell you, full transparency, the biggest following of anyone here is Alex. So that's the most important tag you have, all right? And now what that means, you are exposed, okay, to Alex's entire network. And I tell you, there's a few thousand people that are following Alex's story. Now you get exposed to them, right? They get to know you. They might, even if it's freaking 1% that land on your page, they have a chance to get to know you. All right. And now it's up to you to showcase them who you are. Who are you, right? Now they have the chance to get to know you, and maybe that's up to you what you do on your social media, maybe even to flow you.
So I love it.
that's huge, guys. You know, I bring this up in our Sunday night Zoom activation Zoom every single time. Make sure that you have your IGs out there and try to connect with people, because that's where it starts, guys. I mean, man, I was challenged 6 months ago. Legitimately, I'm German, right? Like this angry German guy, you know, that doesn't like to share his personal life on social media, man. And I was challenged, and I was challenged in a way, saying, hey, if you don't post on a daily basis for the next 3 months on social media, we're not going to help you. And I was like, man, you know, like, and then it's like, it comes down to, do you really want this? Or do you just kind of want it? Do you just kind of want it? You know, do you just like the idea? Are you just having this like shiny object syndrome? You know, your elder says, I feel personally attacked. I had this call with him for 2 hours in a car right before. But it's true, guys. Look, and man, I did it every day. I even called myself out, guys. I called myself out on day 2, and I was so uncomfortable, man. I said, hey, my goal in the next 3 months is to close at least a 40-unit multifamily apartment deal. And this is when I started in multifamily real estate, right? And I was so freaking uncomfortable. What are the people thinking in my network? You know, what about the people at my job, my family? Screw that. And it holds you, number one, accountable. People get to know what you're doing. And I guarantee you, people in your network, they actually applaud you for it. People reach out to me and they said, man, I find it so amazing what you're doing. Like, they said I could never do that, because I was one of those that said I could never do that. No, you can. Trust me, you can. And it creates a level of confidence for you as well. And you build that platform on social media, and kid you not, 3 months later, you know, we closed our first deal. Boom. You know, and I give a lot of that to also that social media accountability. People were able to follow along that, you know, and now I have people reach out to me from my network before we started all this that say, man, I love the videos you're putting out there. Hey, I'd be interested in investing with you. Can we talk about that? Boom. It takes time, guys. It takes consistency, but it starts with putting your name out there, you know, people getting to know you. It's not just enough who you know. It's great if you know Alex, if you know of Alex. Does Alex know you? Does he know of you? That's important, guys. Who knows you, right? And then if they know you, they might flow you. That's up to you again. But again, I hope that resonated with you guys, and I hope that we have a bunch of pings on our IG right now, so we can get ready to share you guys in our networks. So let's go.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's a whole different exposure, you know, to these guys now. They got a large following. So definitely, you know, take advantage of these things. Like when I go on Robert's, if I see Robert in person and we're doing, you know, I tagged him like 100 times in stories this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like all of us, because you want to do that. If somebody is ahead of you, get their attention, tag them. And then
Bro, I did a
and
reel
then-
with him.
and then finally get a little follow. It's like, yes, you know, Grant Cardone has not followed me yet, so let's I'm gonna keep tagging him until he friggin' follows me. Right.
got
So
That's right.
yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to get noticed. So yeah, tag
right.
us all in here, and let us get to know you. You know, a lot of
Definitely.
people are telling me, hey man, I've been on your call so much, but I haven't turned my camera on at all. I'm like, dude, that's why I don't know you. Right? We could have done deals together. I don't know. I don't know what opportunities are missed because we didn't get a chance. So tag us so that we can give our relationship a chance.
That's right. Give it a chance, man.
Give it a chance, guys. Just give it a chance. That's a new tagline right there for us.
That's good,
Yeah,
man.
thanks.
Alex, now you know why Marcel is called the activator of what he just did right there, calling everybody out. He does that to us all the time. It's absolutely fantastic. The role is so valuable. I mean, of course, Marcel's just he's absolutely incredible, an incredible leader in everything that he does. But you saw him being Marcel, the activator, in action right there. And I'll tell you what, going back to the social media journey, I was right there with Marcel. We actually were accountability partners. And I would encourage, the family here that if you don't have somebody whose voice is in your head, maybe it's Alex's voice, maybe it's somebody else's voice. Marcel's voice was in my head every time, because I made that commitment, and we were accountability partners when it came to social media. We'd post every day. And any time that I didn't want to post, this crazy German accent started filling my brain. I'm like, no, Marcel's in my head. Get him out. Get him out. But what did that do? That held me accountable. We were accountability partners, but even a further step of not even that external accountability, the dude was in my head and I heard his voice and I knew that if I wasn't consistent that day, I would let my brother down. So to me, that's that next level of accountability. If you can get somebody in your head, their voice in your head, it'll just take things to the next level, hold you accountable to take consistent action.
Yeah, everybody's got to find a Marcel in their life. Better yet, be the Marcel in somebody else's life.
Hey, there we
All
go.
right. So that's what you got. You got to find the Marcel and you got to be the Marcel.
Hey,
I
Alex,
like-
can I add something?
Yeah. Who that?
It's Vlad.
Vlad. What's up, brother?
Hey, the reason how I started with Reels, I didn't even know what Reels were, really. So somebody on Facebook said, hey, we're doing this 30 for 30 challenge. So you post 30 Reels for 30 days. So I got into the challenge and I got so hooked in it, on it.
And do 30
Now I'm
push-ups.
just doing it nonstop, like all the time. If I don't do a reel, something's missing, right? So you get with somebody who's trying to do it and get in a group and just do some sort of a fun thing, like 30 for 30, for example. And it just becomes part of your routine, like brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
That's all right, man. And it's about quantity in the beginning, guys. Really, it's just about, I have a friend. His name is Nick Vlay. He's helping me on my social media stuff, and he says, "Just press record." That's his tagline. Just freaking press record. The rest comes on its own. Just get started.
Yeah. So, Victor, you want to share something? I want to make sure you get to share too.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is to take that action, right? So I think that's Marcel's superpower in our group, that at the end of every Zoom that we have, we always try to have a call to action. Make sure somebody actually participates and take that action and not just be an audience, right? So another point that I want to make that's kind of on the other side here. Yeah, we try to make everyone try to get known, put yourself out there. But what is the one way for people to get confidence in you is for you to educate yourself. Now is the time where the market is still shifting. I think some sellers still haven't caught up to expectations just because of how fast interest rates are going, right? So now it's a little bit on a slower side right now. Now is the time for you to educate yourself, understand where the market is going, understand how interest rates affect cap rates, and really understand the fundamentals of underwriting. So understand those assumptions of underwriting. What are the assumptions of underwriting? Know where rents go, know where vacancy is going, how to expect where income is growing or expenses are growing, and then also the most importantly where exit cap rate is going. And I think that's what we wanted to bring back to those people that are assuming loans. There might be assuming that they're buying at a 4 cap and they think that they can exit at a 4 cap, and that's not where the market is going, and that's where they got into trouble. And that goes back to the fundamentals of underwriting. So
Yeah.
now is the time to really educate yourself before you take some action. Right now is the time to really educate yourself in the underwriting, but also get yourself known out there that this is what you're doing. But when you know what you're doing and you can convey confidence, that gives your audience confidence in you.
Yeah. And think about the flip side of that is, imagine you got a cash flowing deal at 8%, at an A cap. Like, when you come back and the interest rates are lower, you're going to capture that whole difference too. So yeah, that's a good point. And also, I just want to say that, me, Trevor, and Marcel, we have kind of like this energetic way of speaking, but you have this like calmness, and you have this voice of wisdom. Like, we got this guy AJ in our Legends group too. AJ's also got this, like, when you speak, it's like, wait, this is important. I think I got to listen to what he's saying. It's like this voice of wisdom. Like, holy shit, there he is.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Your eyes are getting brown.
Yeah. So seriously, I mean, it's amazing. You guys have such a great group. How do people find you guys, and what call you guys do a call on Sunday night? How do people find the information for that too?
Oh man. Every Sunday night you have a chance to get activated, guys. So on Sunday night we have the Multifamily Freedom Chasers activation Zoom. Maybe now we call it Freedom Boys activation Zoom. I don't know. We'll see.
Every Sunday you get a chance to get Marcelled.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, we're turning it into a verb. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really good.
That's how
I
you
love
brand.
it, man. But guys, yeah, every Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we bring in industry leaders. I mean, we had Robert Martinez yesterday. The week before, we had Mike Bailey, right, from you guys, Legends and Massive Capital. The week before, we had Rod Khalif. The week before that, we had Vina Jetty. I mean, we always bring in powerhouses, and we make sure that the Zoom is electrifying, right? The energy in the room is there to get you activated. And then what we do, and how do you find that, by the way? Follow our Facebook. You can jump into our Facebook group. Victor, I'm sure he's
Post the
getting ready
link,
to put the
Victor.
link.
Come on.
He's getting ready to put the link in there. So we have everything in there for everyone to be part of this Freedom Chasers community. And really what it is, it's just a platform, guys. We're just providing a platform to people, for people to connect with like-minded people, because we want high performers. We want to surround ourselves with high performers. The majority of the people in our community are still 9-to-5ers, still work a W-2 job, but they get paid by their employer most of the time a 6-figure salary to do a job, you know, to bring a skill set to the table. And that means they bring high quality work to the table. Why can't you bring that work to the table on the multifamily side? You know, why can't you do that to yourself? And that's what we activate in people. That's what we encourage them to do. We have wives, kids, jobs, like I said, and we can still do it. And so,
Yeah.
so can everybody else. So we have a whole ecosystem in place, like you do, actually, Alex. I love what you said, man. With all the Zooms you're having, we have something very similar. We have community leaders. We need more leaders, but that's what we do. So Victor, put that in there, and man, we'd love to see you.
Chris says, "I wish I was only 9-to-5." Same here, right? Not, I mean, I'm not 9-to-5 for sure. I started
That's
at
what you call it,
6:30 in
man.
the morning today, and it's still going.
I don't think a 9-to-5 really stays a 9-to-5 ever.
Yeah,
Right.
never.
But what do you call it then?
Yeah. So, you know, I want to give everybody a chance to kind of ask questions about us and who we are, things like that. And this is about collaboration. You know, I'm always about collaboration. That's why you always see me promoting the people that are on the calls here. I want them to get tremendous value for also spending the time with us, right? And then I want you guys to get value as well. So I hope that we did provide some value here, or at least a sneak peek into the lives of syndicators, and at least the you know, the Freedom Boys, and then also me. I want to give some, you know, if any of the legends want to speak first, like raise your hand, and then we'll give a couple Q&A, but let's keep it super laser, super sharp, because we're only going to do this for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to do one breakout room. You know, this was such a good call, so we went on a little bit longer. I apologize for that. But next week, I promise we're going to be doing 2 or 3 breakout rooms. So let's do Hawk. What's up, brother?
Man, Hawk is here.
Hawk
His
is
cigar,
here.
as always. My boy.
I love this guy.
Trevor.
I
My
love
boy
this guy.
Trevor, Marcel,
brother.
and Vic. You guys know I love you guys. And I can't forget my man, Peter St. Martin, who does the calls on Monday. So if you haven't joined their call, I join it every Sunday when I can. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, blazing. A lot of energy, a lot of knowledge. They always challenge you, right? So I think that's one of the biggest things. You know, these calls, you know, networking and getting to know people, it's one thing, but they actually give you a challenge and homework, right, to go out and take action and make progress. So I can't commend these guys even more. And I had a chance to meet, you know, Trevor, Marcel, and Vic down in Florida, and I got to meet you, Peter, in person. But I just have to say, these guys are amazing. And Peter has always been like a good friend. We talk offline all the time. If you haven't joined Peter's call, if you want to learn how to talk to brokers, I mean, he is a guru at it, right? And he brings along, and he actually does broker calls on that Zoom on Mondays at 2 p.m. So just want to share that with everyone, and just say, man, keep doing what you're doing, guys. And you'll always be my, MFC Freedom Boys.
Let's go.
Thank you, Hawk.
Awesome. So yeah, you know, now that you promoted all of them, How about what's your experience as a legend?
No, so I have to always give big ups to the legend community. I'm one of the OG legends with Alex, but and this is a family. You know, I think this is like the exemplary, right, of what the legends are. Like, we're a great family, but we also like partnering with other families, right? And that's the thing, is about growing the community. And I think one thing you can trust with the legends is that we connect with great people, right? You know, Marcel, Trevor, Vic, Peter, great people. Robert Martinez, great people. You'll always get, you know, knowledge and different perspectives, and then you bring it all together, and then you teach others, right? You bring others along. So that's what our motto is one, to educate ourselves, connect, partner, but also bring everyone up, right? So we want to create as many GPs, as many investors, and as many educators in multifamily as we can, just to grow this whole network. So that's what, you know, I'll say the legends. I'm legends till the day I die. And, you know, yeah, Alex, you know,
how's your person? Tell me what are some personal big shifts that you've had being in the group?
Oh yeah, no, awesome. So I mean, I think one of the things I you know, kind of just delved into is just connecting with people, but also with brokers, right? So I have a lot of broker connections. I do a lot of underwriting. So and also it helped me kind of teach some of the other legends that were a little, you know, less confident in underwriting, how to underwrite. It actually helped me. So I would just, you know, the more you educate yourself, and I think the legends community really challenged us to find our superpowers. That's one of the biggest things, is that we identified where we have our strengths, where we have our weaknesses, and we reach out to, you know, with our strengths to the ones with weaknesses, and then we trade off, right? So if someone has if I have a weakness, I know I can rely on my family and the legends group to build up my weakness. AJ did it the other day, taught me about, you know, LLCs and, you know, how to structure, you know, S corps and you know, get my companies in order. So it's endless, right? This game is endless. Desiree with Canva, she does a Canva call to do pitch decks. Chris, who's about to speak, he's just a guru in just internet marketing, promoting. You know, it's endless, you know, just superpowers in the legends group, and it's really about just sharing that across the team. So
Awesome.
I'll leave it there.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So let's go, Chris, Ryan. You guys, you know, quickly share. I know you guys definitely have a lot to say, and if anybody else, we'll do it real quick, and then we got 5 minutes, and then we'll break out into one breakout room where you get to meet a random stranger. Don't leave.
Boom. So I'll make this quick. What's up, guys? Chris here, Chris Craze, my stage name, but I'm a legend, a diehard legend, will be a legend. Obviously picked this group for many reasons. A couple of things, first and foremost, that come into play is rising tide raises all ships. That's the mentality that we all have. And then the other one is sharing is caring. And the reason being is, as a DJ for many years, I gave my music away to everybody else. You'll never mix it the way I do, but at least I gave it away. And it's kind of the same thing here. We're all in the community. We can all help each other. And the best part about this Legends, and maybe I just put the mentality on what I'm about to say, but if I was not in a group like this, it would be, to me, kind of a nuisance to call somebody like, hey, I got a question about this deal. Hey, I want to know how to underwrite. Hey, I want to know about this. But when you're in this community, we're all in the community, and it's not like that. I was about to say it ain't like that, but that's the street talk. So it's not like that. You're not bothering anybody. You're not a nuisance. And again, rising tide raises all ships. So I love being in it. I've invested a lot, time, energy. You know, I think I'm part of the marketing team with Ryan here. We do our calls and things like that. But everybody has a ability to give. And like Alex says, we're a tribe. You know, we're a tribe. We all help each other out. And for the most part, this is like the communities, what is it? The Jewish communities, and not anything against a certain type of people, but those communities, they cycle the money in the community. So everybody has their skill, everybody has their trade, and you can rise to the top in more than one way, not just real estate, but this also focuses on personal development. And
Yeah.
I love that about this, and I'm glad I joined it. I'm in the right place.
Y'all think you guys were coming in to do real estate. All right. Thanks, brother.
Yep.
Hey, go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Ryan. Schmooze. We got to schmooze brokers. You got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hey guys, it was great hanging with you at the event and meeting all you guys. Yeah, I learned so much. And actually today, you just reminded me to go back and look at my notes for Robert's notes. And it was really, I mean, I took down so many nuggets. Like he was, like Alex said, he's all about operations. And of course, Alex re-upped to do the next year with him. He was like student number 0001.
Oh, I'm student number one. Robert's student number one in the mentorship group.
But what's really interesting is, so here's some quotes, like people move out because of maintenance. Like that's one of the things you guys talked about that. The AC is primarily why people move out. One of the things, he talks about giving a 10% bump when you do a rehab on a deal. That's just a round number that he uses, which I thought was interesting. He re-emphasized the importance of communicating with investors. Let's see. The other thing is it was really cool meeting RPM, and it was really cool seeing how RPM and really how Robert uses reviews specifically, Chris, because I know that, we've been doing reputation management for, almost 10 or 12 years now. I mean, my gut was telling me that it was really important, but in multifamily, he literally uses it to manage the managers. So what he does is when somebody moves in, he actually gets a review. He has that on-site person get the review right when they move in, when everybody's happy. And then if they give a review or they update the review, something's wrong. And that is how he actually manages what's actually happening. If he sees a negative review, that property management company needs to respond to it. And that's how he actually oversees what they're doing. And I think that's genius. What else? Oh, he really made a really interesting distinguishing between what Grant Cardone is. He said he's a promoter, and then what's the guy's name? I should know. Who's this guy right here? I can't.
Pull it closer to yourself.
It was Gary Vee. He said Gary Vee is a storyteller, and Grant Cardone is a promoter, which is really totally true. I never really actually got that distinction. I thought it was really interesting. And I could go on and on and on. I mean, there were so many nuggets. I mean, he was talking about how
we don't want to go through your entire notebook here. We don't have that much time.
Yeah. No, I think it was great though. Great seeing you guys. Talk to you later.
Awesome. Ryan is one of my first proteges, and almost the entire mentorship was actually based off of our relationship. So okay, Lene, last one, and then we're gonna break out into meetups. Don't leave, because you get to meet somebody today. Someone's gonna change your life.
I'm Lene, and I was on the call this afternoon with the chasers, and they walked me through with another person for a broker call. And it was scary, and they really walked me through. It took time and patience, and it was wonderful. Thank you very much, you guys.
How do you feel now? How do you feel about it now?
Better.
More confident?
I can do it.
Encouraged?
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to call that one guy that we called. I'm going to call him tomorrow. I'll call her. What's her name? Kane. I'm going to call Kane tomorrow.
Awesome.
Love it. And this is thanks again to Billionaire Pete, right? I know he's on the call here right now, and we have Eddie Charger, two of our community leaders who are running that Zoom. They're absolutely amazing. And I just love seeing the impact that you guys have on people, just like Lene here, no? I mean, amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
Thank
amazing.
you.
So that's these guys are here offering their services and giving freely of their time. Like, utilize it, because none of these guys are going to hang around here long, because they're all going to be blown up at some point, and you ain't going to be able to find them. Just kidding. You'll always be able to find them. But seriously, though, as people become more successful, they have to be more mindful of the time that they commit to things, and especially if you're up to big things, there will be lives that you want to impact, big things that you want to do, and you got to put your energy and your time somewhere. So while these freedom boys and their crew, while you have the time and you can connect with them, do it. Take full advantage of that right now. Get their autographs now. All right. So yeah, thank you, Lene. And Nick, we'll break everybody out into the room. Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll do that for
If you have to
12
go,
minutes.
I can
Huh?
still stay here. If you have to go, I can still stay here.
Oh, great. Okay, so Nick's gonna do 2 breakout rooms for you guys and hang out on this room. I will be leaving within the next 5 minutes, but I want to say thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Freedom Chasers, Freedom Boys, official freedomboys.com. You guys are freaking awesome. You know, I'm so glad that I got to meet you guys, and you know, I'm a big fan. So
I must tell you, Alex, I would say for us, and we discussed this, another big takeaway from this mastermind really was meeting people, and one of the big ones is definitely you. So we're really excited for the relationship moving forward.
likewise,
100%.
likewise. Super excited. Thank you for doing all the great work out there, and you know, providing value for people. You guys are definitely changing lives. I really appreciate that you're doing that. All right, so thank you, everybody. If you guys want to join, know more about the mastermind, Nick has dropped my Calendly in there. I haven't put a Calendly in there in the last 2 months because I've been so focused on my group. But you know, it's going to be open for anybody that wants to find out more about what it is and talk to me. We'll have 15-minute things on there. All right, and then we will have a follow-up call to a follow-up email that's going to go out. We'll put their Facebook group, their contact info, things like that, to reach out to them and to join their Facebook community as well. There's never too much information, right? It is important that you get focused and laser on what information you want to absorb. But these guys are definitely doing good work out there. They got the Legend stamp of approval, and love it. Thank you all for being here, and I hope you guys have a great time networking with each other. Seriously, though, tell each other what you're after, what you want to create, where you are, what are your goals for 2023. And yeah, and last thing, Wednesday, we're going to be talking about our deal and our vision for Las Vegas. So Nick will drop that as well. Thank you, everybody. A lot of blessings to everyone, and see you all tomorrow or the day after that.